Enjoy.
Thank you.
See you guys tomorrow.
Ciao. No, I can't do it.
Am I sitting okay?
We're in shot, we're in view. Hey guys, welcome to Think Fit Thinking podcast. We're with Resina here just to find out a little bit about her success, how she's found it in Think Fit. So we'll start off with the first question, I guess. Tell us a little about your story prior to Think Fit.
My story. So I've always been into fitness and training, like pretty much since birth. I've never had a period where it wasn't a part of my life. It's been more of a journey of discovering what my preferences are, what works for me, both physically and mentally. In the past couple of years, I've been focusing a lot more on my mental health and how my physical activities connected with that, in comparison to previous years where it was just all about what I was looking like and how clothes fit me, what size I was, and how everyone else was thinking of me, even though no one cared. But
what was the shift in that thinking? What was there a moment, or was it a series of things?
I don't know. I think I had a breakup. I think that maybe that pushed it. Like I had some time being single and just sort of getting to know myself a bit more, and that honestly, that life event for me shifted how I thought about a lot of things. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Fantastic. It is a massive awakening. It's usually for the not so good reason. Fuck him, I'll get the good body to whatever.
No hard feelings, but it just gave me space to think about other things, I think.
Yeah.
And my mental health and my physical, the connection between my physical and mental health, one of the.
That's fantastic, and that's exactly why we Think Fit. The mental comes with the physical, the alignment of that, and I guess that's maybe why you were attracted to Think Fit. Did that come about, or how did Think Fit come about for you?
Can I tell you? I'll tell you my interesting anecdote about Think Fit.
Yeah, go for it. Go.
So at the time, I was looking for a new gym because I wasn't entirely I was with my previous gym from when I was 18 years old.
Wow.
So I'm nearly 30. So I was very loyal to my other gym, and I'm still loyal to them now, not as much. I saw a post that I saw something Abby, Toby's girlfriend, posted. She posted something. Tapped on the link. Go, oh, this is interesting. This is sort of what I've been looking for. Because I'd sussed out F45, I'd sussed out CrossFit. I'd done a trial at a CrossFit place, and I was just sort of seeing how I felt, and because again, focusing on my mental, how I'm feeling emotionally. And then I mentioned it to a good friend of mine, and then he was like, yeah, that's where Luke worked. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, Luke. I was like, I felt this immediate guilt. Luke. So I felt so guilty that I had no idea what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that made me even more interested because I've always had such a respect for Luke, and it's just been such a positive person in my life for almost 10 years now, or 10 years or something.
He has been somewhat of a Tony Robbins to many people,
he's just so awesome, and I'm all about connecting with, when I connect with someone, it's so important to me. So that encouraged me to come along, do a trial, and then I immediately just loved Elise, straight away. She's just so bubbly and friendly and amazing. And I also, side note to my side note.
It's been a good side note.
We were talking about gyms the other day, and I love the I was just talking about you. I love the setup that you've got Elise being sort of a social.
She's a butterfly.
Yeah,
connector.
Having that staff member at the gym to connect with people, that makes a huge difference, I think. A lot of gyms just have the trainers, and that they're busy training people. And then I had the connection with Jamal because I was friends with his girlfriend from school. And then we found out we had gone to school together at the same time. Didn't realize, it was just, the universe was just you actually know all these people.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I know Elise's best friend, used to work with her.
Oh, right, yep.
And then Elise and I know heaps of mutual friends, whatever. Yeah. And it's just
So the comfort level was
extreme.
Helps with the connections and stuff.
And going to school with Jess, Jamal's girlfriend, she's amazing, and just knowing that this outer circle of people were all I know that they're all good people, and sorry, I'm going on a tangent.
No, that's cool.
What
you
have
really
you
made
done?
it clear. It's a perfectly friendly environment.
Wait, what was the question?
I lost the question, but that's cool. But I guess where we can tangent to is...
That's how
So your health journey isn't necessarily, I lost 10 kilos, which is sadly what gets marketed to, but really you found your happiness in the mental aspect of
it was
training.
all about, my main goal was to find somewhere that I was happy to go to every day.
Yeah.
And my trial here, I felt that pretty much immediately, and then there's not been a day that I've come here and not, like, I get excited to come here after work. Probably like 4 o'clock, I'm like, oh yeah, nearly time for my pre-gym snack, like, keen. If someone asks me to go train somewhere else, I'm like, no, leave me alone.
See you later. In saying that, what is one of your favourite moments at ThinkFit? There's something that stands out, something you enjoy the most?
It's a really good question.
It's really on the spot one too.
I think a standout for me was how you guys combated the gym shutting. What was it, March something?
Okay, yeah.
That was amazing. Like, I was so impressed, and even though I wasn't completely on board with the Zoom sessions, I found it really hard. I found it really hard, like just the effort you guys were making. And just even the biggest support for me during that time was just the online presence in the Facebook group. Yeah. That was the only sense of community I had during that time.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Really, truly. Like, I was cut off from a lot of my friends. We were still messaging and stuff, but it was hard. Mm-hmm. And it just, I think knowing that every night I could have jumped on, knowing I had the option.
Yeah.
And I did a few, but I think it was just not for me. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I was doing some of the workouts you were posting, and I caught up with you a couple of times at the park, 2 meters, 3 meters apart at all times. We did like some stretching and stuff, and just having, and we probably wouldn't have done that if it wasn't for like ThinkFit and having this constant connection with you. Yeah. And Elise, your phone calls, honestly, if I could think back to that time, which was so scary for everyone, and no one's experienced anything like it in our lifetime, the things that stand out were like your phone calls. Because I've heard a lot of stories from other people, from other gyms, even staff members of other gyms, where they didn't hear anything from their own employees.
We lost just Resina's rambling made it cut out. Everything she said was absolutely beautiful.
Don't care.
We'll finish with a few more questions, but I guess your biggest learning moment while at ThinkFit?
Oh, okay, I know what it is. Learning how important recovery is and downtime. Like implementing practices like stretching more often, doing things like yoga, mindfulness. I don't know if I'm saying the right words, but
yep, perfect.
I didn't do those things before. My training was more intense before I started here, and I pretty much trained myself into injuries and would be like, why? But so I've learnt here how to take care of myself.
Which is massive.
Before and after training as well.
What would you say to that previous you, or that girl who's stuck in that cycle of like, I have to look the best, I have to slay it on the treadmill for hours on end? What would you recommend?
I would just tell her, like, getting anxious over the way you look because you're comparing yourself to other people is such a waste of time. Like, life is so precious, and it's so worth being happy, and anything that's an obstacle to your happiness is just not worth any time. Like, so I think
Elise is gonna cry. I think
I know.
She's getting really down to the feels, which is fantastic, and that's a message that so many people need to hear. I saw it all the time. I did it for a period. The disordered eating, eating, things like that. Just because you think you have to look like someone else to feel accepted, but once you accept yourself, more people accept you. And
I said something to Monty on the weekend that made her like really impressed, and I was like, oh, impressing Monty.
Quote me.
Yeah. No, I just said I've learned that there's like no correlation between a healthy body image and how much you weigh and like what your body looks like. It's actually two separate things. So anytime someone comes to me and they're like, I'm feeling shit, I'm feeling fat, I'm feeling disgusting, so I need to go to the gym or train more. I'm like, no, you need to first try and feel good. This is my opinion.
Yeah.
But I think you need to work on that first. Like, try and feel good about yourself, tell yourself good things, happy things, get into a good mind space as much as you can, and then go and work on your eating habits and your sleeping habits and your training habits, and make it a positive contribution to your life and not a punishment or a fix or, And
I think that's something we try to educate here. It's like,
you guys do.
yes, love yourself, whatever else, but sometimes if loving yourself isn't the thing, maybe we do have to, I posted today, look to the dark side, use the anger and frustration as motivation to move forward, but ultimately do things for your body because you love yourself, not because you fucking feel guilty and all those sorts of things. But no, perfect, thank you. I guess anyone that was looking to come to Think Fit, what would you say? That they're like not too sure, little held back?
I would just say like give it a go. And I was telling you the other day that my friend's moving to the local area and I'm like really trying to recruit him. And I'm just like, Christian, just try it out. Like just go for one day because I know you'll like it and there's just nothing not to like here. Yeah.
Perfect.
Like I love it.
Well, thank you very much, guys. Thank you so much, Resina. You made my sister cry as a puddle of tears on the floor. But we appreciate your time. We appreciate you here. You're a great community member.
Thanks. I'm glad I wasn't in trouble.
And I'm sure you give Marcus a little run for his money. So good job. Thanks, guys.